In this episode of Travelog, I'm heading to the mountains on Beijing's northern outskirts to meet some people my age who've swapped city life for the chance to run guest houses beside the Great Wall of China. The Great Wall of China, built to guard Beijing from invaders from the north, is today one of this city's most popular attractions. I'm heading to Jiankou. It's a particularly beautiful section of the Great Wall, but also one of its most dangerous. This is really the countryside, isn't it? I feel like I'm the only person here. I guess this is the village. 阿姨您好。 这咱们就是黄梁子约是在这里是吗？对。怎么走啊？那样的。谢谢。They even have firewood here, quite authentic, I would say. They've got their own cornfield over there. 这是您的房子啊？是我们家，来上家带出去。 My destination is Huangliangzi, a village lying among the foothills of the Yanshan Mountains. It's dominated by the Jiankou section of the Great Wall, and in order to climb it, I need an experienced guide. The man I'm looking for runs a homestay here, having swapped city life for a rural idyll. He and his family of 4 make up almost a quarter of the population of this sleepy little village. This is probably it, yeah. Huangliangzi, that's the name of this village. Let's go in and have a look. 我们房间的那边，这边是我们自己住的院子。哦，这个还比较少，就是那个主人也住的酒店旁边的。在地生活嘛。啊，真好。你好，小朋友们。The owners are Mengzi and Wang Jie. Both originally from Shanxi province in North China. They moved to Beijing after graduating from university. A few years ago, they rented several old houses in this village, renovated them, and turned part of them into guest accommodation. 哦，这就是客人住的这一块是吧？这边其实本来应该是2套院子，中间这个应该以前有个墙，我们做的时候就把它给拆掉了。 然后就把这门给打通了。那等于就是你们当时来的时候，这些房子已经是衰落了，是吧？它有很长时间不住人了，然后把顶扶下来了，地挖深了。这是你们房间。哎，好嘞。哎，这很舒服啊，我很喜欢这个风格，特别好。这是什么东西？这个？这是以前的原始结构。 但是挺好的，就是这个风格，咱们这房子的风格挺现代的，但是保留着这些老的东西，这种碰撞，对，这种碰撞很舒服。小孩的画吧，很好。这边是陶板，是我大学毕业的创作。哦，当时画的是很多那个水果的切面。我发现你们什么都会啊，房子也会设计，所有的里边的布置也都是自己来做的，好厉害。啊，然后这里边应该就是卧室了。 这门怎么开？这门这样可以拉的谷仓门。哦，that's pretty interesting. Lovely. It's a nice clean space. Wang Jie and Mengzi are hands-on people. Mengzi even personally designed the layout of these houses. Living out here in the country hasn't always been easy for these 30-somethings, but it's made them very self-sufficient. Wang Jie even produces her own shampoo, and when she has time, teaches her guests the art of making soap. The results look so good, you might mistake them for cakes.
我们本身的目的其实只是带孩子来享受大自然。
当时没有
来的朋友太多，住不下。
当时没有想到这个收入这个。
对，当时收入没有想那么多。我老公也会做设计，我也会做设计，能补贴一下，就还好。后来我们就想到了一个点子吧，想帮大家实现一个在村里有一个院子的愿望。
我看着好像你们很潇洒，
我们很忙的。原先是在市里上班的，后来带着孩子不在这边住了之后，才会发现了很多不同的乐趣。
比方说，
就是什么种菜啦、做香皂啦、做护肤品啦，偶尔还会做一些小首饰。
那比方说你们现在种菜，然后刚来的时候
不会，邻居大叔大娘种的时候你就看嘛，然后问问他们，然后自己种，摸索，然后种2、3年就差不多了。就把所有的菜都种垮过一次，然后我就可以学会了。
哇，一看就好吃。
好玩吗？好玩吧。
其实我本人想画一个星星。Look at that! Yeah, I totally meant for it to look like a beautiful collection of leaves. Totally. 这很好看呐。
好有成就感吧。
特别有成就感，特别棒。
We're heading to the Jiankou section of the Great Wall. Built nearly 700 years ago, it's a steep, unrestored stretch of the wall that's been left to go wild. Luckily for me, Mengzi's been walking this trail for years and regularly brings his guests up here.
Yeah, you literally have to climb up, don't you? Here we go. Oh man, look at this place. That is fabulous view. Like, you know, it's a bit claustrophobic down there, kind of humid, but as soon as you come up here, there's this lovely breeze.
Many of the steps here have crumbled away, so you really need a guide like Mengzi to show you where to walk.
It's not so bad. Wow, 哎，这视野棒啊，太棒了 Man, it really does feel like you're on top of the world over here. Even though there's actually towers that are further up. But we're on top of this world. You feel like your chest is sort of, you know, inflating in a way. It's a really good feeling. Quite a difficult climb, but a good feeling.
Now that we're here, we get to enjoy the view in style.
那你经常带客人上来，你不会觉得老是看这个景，老是走这一条路，不会闷得慌吗？
你们想的是我陪你们呀，陪很多朋友每次都去爬山，但是我是另外一种想法，是不同的时间、不同的气候、不同的人在陪我爬山，然后我又能陪别人一起上来，保证大家的安全，提供一些简单的帮助，感觉特别有满足感。我来北京之后，很多地方都在玩。之后来这儿就是有一次呢，碰到一个做环保的团队，然后捡长城上遗留的一些垃圾。我们认识之后，我就每个周末都会参与其中。就像现在我跟我们孩子也是这样说，肯定会制造一些垃圾，但是我们要及时的带走。但总有一些事情，有些人要做的。
It still amazes me that people once built and guarded this wall. In a way, Mengzi is simply its latest custodian. After that challenging hike, it's time to return for lunch. Wang Jie is making knife-cut noodles, a specialty of her native Shanxi province. It's not as easy as it looks. Living out here in the country requires a whole new set of life skills. But it's a refreshing change of pace. You chop your own firewood so that you can cook meat in a mud oven that you've built yourself. It makes you feel connected to the earth.
This is so cool. It's like constructing your own barbecue pit. Hello. Ah, leg of lamb. Where's this guy? I think this might be another one. Oh. That was an hour of expectation, and now that I'm smelling all this lovely fragrance, can't wait. There we go. 闻着这些烤肉的味儿实在太诱人了，等了半天终于能吃了，都不知道从哪开始。这是牛肉是吧？这牛肉，这是排骨。五花肉、羊肉，城里人们就烦躁，想周末出来在山里玩，然后就特别想要这种环境，吃这种菜。但是你们天天就过这种日子，而且还没吃胖，所以，哎，羡慕嫉妒恨。来吧，开吃，谢谢。
Time to do some glamping.
Welcome to my abode. It's actually really high tech. I've got this sort of funnel above my head, which is for circulation, and it's actually got a lot of mod cons. I've got a fan here. Quite surprised to find that I've got a wash basin, a toilet, and a shower in there. Wow, I did not expect that. And of course, weather permitting, I might even be able to see the stars tonight, and even if I can't, have this lovely view all to myself.
If you've got the energy for it, you can even climb back up to Jiankou to watch the stars. How's that for a weekend getaway?
You just don't get this kind of fresh air in the city. I mean, obviously, much closer to nature here in the mountains, you're surrounded by nature, but you also kind of fall into this natural rhythm. You go to sleep when the sun sets, you wake up when the sun rises, and you kind of also realize that a lot of the things that stress us out in life are man-made, that life is actually just meant to be very simple, very natural. It kind of resets your rhythm a little bit. It's a great feeling.
Coming up next, I'm staying at the guest house of a foodie who takes me to part of the Great Wall some call Beijing's front door. The Great Wall stretches all across Beijing's northern outskirts, and this time I've come to visit the Gubeikou section. It's located over 100 kilometers away from the heart of Beijing, in Miyun district.
This must be the place. Wow, 2 pretty big villas. I wonder what my room would look like. Okay, let's go and have a look. 你好，你好。您是老板说？你好，你好。很漂亮，咱们这个小院啊。
First, I'm checking into Simatai number 19 villa. It's Booking.com's top pick for hotels in Miyun district, and it's managed by owner Zhang Liwei and her mother. The thing is, Liwei actually has a full-time job, but that doesn't stop her from working here at the weekend. She's both a perfectionist and a foodie, and in order to give her guests the best experience, Liwei has even created her own hot pot.
到味精。
平时吃火锅不会想到，就是里边放了这么多料。
但其实好多它的味道就是通过不同的这种天然香料，然后经过不同的工艺，然后我们在炒料的时候把这些放进去，它就会，在这个火锅底料当中了。像我们今天会用到大概20几种这个天然的香料，然后我们在做的时候呢，要提前先用水给它泡一下，经过长时间的这个熬，我们的这个火锅底料就出来了。 我可能对食物就是从小的那种热爱吧，我就是特别喜欢研究吃的。像我在厨房有的时候可能一待就是待一整天站着，就很投入、很专注的在做这个。然后做完了以后，你看到那个成品，大家都特别爱吃，然后就很幸福的感觉。
咱们家的火锅跟别人家的火锅
就是我们家的火锅底料呢，它就是吃到嘴里边是辣的，但是它到胃的话就 没有那种特别辣烧的那种感觉啊，是因为就是我们的那个配料里边有一些食材香料，它会中和这个辣度。轻轻的一捏，
可能您的这边That's why I'm never the main chef. I'm always the sous chef.
If you've never had hot pot, it's basically a communal pot filled with simmering broth, into which you dip and cook your own meat and vegetables. A good hot pot needs a good broth, and a good broth needs a good soup base. Every time Liwei makes hers, the whole street is filled with the mouth-watering aroma.
食物它首先就是色香味儿。 但是你一眼看过去，你先看到的就是这个食物的它的这个状态，然后你觉得它漂亮，你可能才会有想吃的这个冲动。所以我是想，先是从它的这个造型，然后让大家一看就觉得，哎呀，太漂亮了，甚至有可能会觉得，哎，我都不忍心吃了。然后，这么漂亮的食物，放到锅里，然后大家吃起来就是延续下去那个美的感觉。
Hot pot is less a meal than it is an experience.
Lovely and tender. And it's very slightly spicy, but it's very subtle. It's barely there, and then after you've chewed it for a while, you're like, hello. That's a nice little bit of chili.
Some 10 minutes drive from Liwei's guest house is Gubeikou, an ancient pass that served as a gateway between northeast China and Beijing.
你看我们现在看的这个是叫杨令公庙，它的历史也非常的悠久了，它是在公元1025年建成的。
哇！
距离现在大概有1000年的时间了。
但咱们这个庙是建的为了纪念谁啊？
我们这个令公庙它是为了纪念当时宋朝有一个爱国将领令公杨业，然后他的全家都是这个忠烈。 就是为了纪念他们满门的忠烈修建的这个令公庙。
等于他们原来就是真实存在的
真实存在的历史人物。
还是说明咱们古北口的这个军事的这个位置非常重要，是吧？
这就是咱们的令公杨业。
这视野还是蛮不错哈。
这边看过去，你会看到一段长城，这一段是卧虎山长城。
嚯！这边也是。 都是长城，
对。
I guess it's quite interesting, isn't it? Because when people visit Beijing, they come to, they see the Great Wall as an attraction. It's kind of abstract, but when you come here and you're surrounded by the wall, you realize its strategic and military importance. It wasn't for show, it actually had a real use.
The fort here at Gubeikou was heavily guarded. There's even an imperial avenue that runs through the town for the exclusive use of the emperor and his retinue.
天然，你看，这是咱们一个大概有200年历史的一个四合院啊，我们进去看一下。
对，我看它这些雕刻还是有些年头的。
对，它这个雕刻应该都是原来的原貌。
哦，哎，然后呢？
由他来给你介绍一下吧。
哦，好嘞，好嘞。
咱们这是一个老四合院啊，有所有的房子主体都是有200多年了。您看这边是一进，最早四合院都是有几进的四合院啊，咱们这边是一进的最早。 普通的民宅北房才是正房，
对对对。
咱们这个院子因为跟普通民宅格局不一样，最早是官宅。对，这边北房是算是厢房吧。北房的这个墙，这个位置您看到这是一个花盆。
然后哪边是属于主房？
这边，咱们这边是西房，这边是西房。普通民宅是坐北朝南，应该是北房是正房。对。 这个因为是老四合院，它格局跟民宅还是有区别的。这边是土炕呢，您看这个门槛还有这个坨，能看得出来的都是老的，
都保留下来了哈。
对，窗户也没坏，还是木质的窗户。这边土炕都是可以烧的。
对。
烧炕的，
这市里太少见了，这见不到的。
只有农村有这种土炕。
对。然后它的这个景观还是蛮不错的。
对，所有的房间都是能看得到山的。
这边还能看到。
对，这个是城墙，这是城墙，咱这是古北口的内城。
We've been hiking up Coiling Dragon Mountain, and on the way, we've bumped into a team that's restoring a section of the Great Wall here.
这里边石材里边是白灰、黄土，把石材弄里边去，上面再灌浆。老祖宗给咱们怎么修的，你还是怎么恢复，不能改变他的做法。这是古建成的规矩。
那您修长城修了有多少年了？现在
？7、8年了吧。
7、8年了，就是只修这一段吗？
不是，光修这段不把我们饿死了。上边是，这个谁都不敢碰。
I don't know if you can see that clearly, but this piece of brick is from the Ming Dynasty, about 600 years old, and this script would have been read that way. It's not legible now though, and I have absolutely no idea what it says, what kind of script is used, but honestly think it's pretty incredible that, I'm standing on this piece of history, and every time you come up to the Great Wall, it's not just an attraction, but it's real solid history that you can touch with your hands and re-experience. I think it's just absolutely amazing.
这都万历7年到现在500多年了。
哇，那这保留的太好了，它这太结实了这。
我们这上哪儿专业不？
你看这里边就，对，里边多厚啊！
对，这都1.2米左右厚了。
哇，怪不得它结实呢。
这斜角这还是木的嘛？那这是木的，那。
哦。
它就是这儿薄，它支个木就是那意思，单钢筋使那意思。
哦。
This is called the General's Tower. It's seen countless battles, and there are even bullet holes in its walls from the Japanese invasion of China last century.
领你上将军楼看看。
哎，好嘞。还挺陡。
这将军楼就是过去所有战役还是打仗的指挥所。
哦，还是比较全面哈，这个长城从那边一直转到这儿。 让往那边跑。
过去主要打仗这些，咱在这儿打，他这儿一攻破了，就直接进北京了嘛。北京的北大门这儿。
Back at the guest house, Li Wei tells me she opened this place because she didn't want to wait until her retirement to start enjoying life. She's turning her hobbies into income, and now she has customers from all across Beijing coming here for her homemade cakes.
哎，失败。啊
，sorry，
怪不得呢。I was wondering why it took so long.
Just don't hard boil your eggs if you're going to make a cheesecake. Li Wei fell in love with baking years ago when she bought a mini oven. But her passion for good food extends to all cuisines. For dinner, we're having chuar, or Chinese kebabs.
咱们这个饭后甜点，
对，
非常丰富。
这个就是咱们刚才下午做的那个芝士蛋糕。
是，
嗯，
这看着
它有
特别诱人。
这个提拉米苏的渊源就是我有一年出去学习，然后刚好那个老师是2015年的甜品世界冠军。
哇哦！
然后这个配方呢，是他当年的那个获奖的冠军作品中的一部分。
从您的装修，做火锅底料，然后还有蛋糕，就能看到我自己满意了，
对，
我才能推广给别人
对
这种心态。
对。
吃也是一定要吃到自己满意。These two honestly are my all-time favorite desserts. Anytime I have a choice, it's going to be really difficult to choose from cheesecake and tiramisu. I'm going to just go for both. Oh, I love how rustic it looks, and it smells absolutely divine. Oh, that is delicious. And the cheesiness, it's so much stronger than the cheesecake you get in stores and cafes. I guess because it's super fresh and we use the best ingredients. And I think I already had some of that. I'm gonna go for the tiramisu. Oh, that is melting your mouth good.
What a great way to end my stay by the Great Wall.
Cheers. Hey, 你好。